Hi my lovies, welcome back to my channel. Today is June's hits and misses. I was like, wow, June. I can't believe we're coming into July. How is this even happening? How is the month rolling by so quickly? I feel like we haven't even had time to settle into this year and it's like already like the longest day of the year. I think yesterday was. It made me cry a little bit inside. So anyway, today I'm going to talk about my favorite products of the month and some of the misses that I have experienced this month. There was a few because I did do drugstore week in June and I did discover a couple of products that I wasn't crazy about. Actually, this makeup look is from drugstore week. It was my final makeup look and it is a glam makeup look. So I will be linking that video in the description bar below. All of the products on my face are from the drugstore, would you believe it or not? I found some completely and utterly hidden gems this month. Anyway, let's kick off this video by talking about my favorite product of the month. I am so excited to be including this in my favorites. It is the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe eyeshadow palette. I have this palette, I'd say about 10 days, maybe a little bit more. So I've had a little bit of time to play around with it. I played around with it a lot last weekend. I will show you what it looks like inside. It's beautiful and I did do a full makeup tutorial using it and I will link that down below, as well as a review of the palette and swatches and all that jazz. Now I do want to say some of my followers did contact me privately. They had asked me to be really honest with them and what I had thought of this palette genuinely, because they did want to spend their hard-earned money on it and they just didn't want it to be a dud. So I'm saying to you what I said to them as well. Everything in that video that I made, I've been completely and utterly honest. I explained that some of these shadows were a little bit on the patchy side. Now I have had time to play around with them, especially kind of this dark shade here in the black, and they do come up a little bit They come up a little bit better on the eyes. They are slightly more pigmented, but I stand by everything I did say in that video. I promise you guys, honesty is the best policy, and I am more loyal to you guys. If I wanted this, I'd just go and buy it. I just think that it is important to be honest to you, and I did genuinely really like it, and I do like the Morphe palettes. Perhaps if you're not keen on the Morphe palettes, you won't like this, so that's where we may differ. But one thing I will say is I am always honest as I possibly can be, because I want you guys to spend your money on stuff that is worth it and not be throwing it down the drain, because I know money is hard to come by and we work very hard to get what we have, and you don't want to be spending it on rubbish, and that is kind of my main priority. If $38 is worth it to you for a palette for 35 shadows in it, then I say go for it. The only thing I will say is to people who are living outside the US, just be a little bit wary when you are purchasing this. You may have customs, there could be taxes in your country, there could be high shipping charges to get it to your country. It seems to be the people in the US are benefiting a little bit more from Morphe, because they do ship a little bit cheaper around the US basically than they do to outside the US, and even to Canada. I've heard that it's quite expensive, so that is the biggest downfall with purchasing the palette. The palette itself is amazing for $38, which is just shy of €35, something like that, and I would pay €35 for it, no problem, but just the shipping charges are what is extortionate. So that is enough about that palette. If you want to see the full tutorial, full review, everything on it, I will link it down below. Please guys, go and watch it if you have more information on it, and never ever fear with my reviews. I promise you guys, I will always be honest to you, because I know what it feels like to be on the other side when you're watching a review and you're not really sure, and I have gotten products that people have recommended and I've found out that they weren't great, so I don't want to be that type of person. I hope that makes sense. This was a little surprise favorite of mine this month. I wasn't expecting to get this or try this, but I got a gorgeous PR box from Too Faced and they had all of the bronzers in it, and this was my favorite one. This is the Chocolate Soleil bronzer and it looks like that on the inside, and I've been using this to death. Obviously you haven't seen this maybe on camera yet because I've been using a lot of drugstore makeup lately, but you will see this coming up quite soon. It smells like chocolate and it's just amazing. I really like this. It is a gorgeous matte bronzer. It comes in a darker shade and a lighter shade. I think the dark chocolate is the darker one and milk chocolate is the lighter one, but this is just the chocolate one. And I love this. It's a gorgeous contour. It's really nice on my skin tone. It blends out quite nice. I just think it's a gorgeous bronzer, and for contouring, I love it. Love it a lot. In last month's favorite, I did mention that I was a big fan of the Lee Stafford purple shampoo, and Lee Stafford actually sent me out a PR package about 3 weeks ago, and they sent this in it, and it was the Bleach Blonde's Kiss of Color. This is the playful pink shade, and this is what I have in my extensions right now, so you can kind of see that pink hue in my hair. It's from this. And oh my god, it is super pigmented. This is not a hair dye. It washes out. It lasts 1 to 4 washes. But if you're thinking of tinkering around with your hair a little bit and adding a little bit of color to your hair, but you didn't want to dye it permanently, I definitely would check this out. Like, look at that. It's so cool. And I only put it in a little bit of my extensions just to see what it was like, and I'm really impressed. I would dye my whole head this color if I could get away with it, but it might look a bit funny. But just if you wanted a touch of color, I think it's amazing. And if Stafford, if you're watching, please bring out more colors in this. Like, I would love like a blue and maybe like a purple, and I'd love even like a green or something. I think it'd be so cool to have like different colors in your hair. This next product I want to talk about, I have been waiting to talk about this because I didn't want to mention it too early and then it'd be junk. But I bought the Revitalash, I'd say about maybe 2.5 months ago, and I bought it off Shanaxo's website because I know she sells it. I was really keen to kind of try it out. I know she had spoken about it for a very long time and how it grows her lashes and makes her lashes look long and luxurious and beautiful, and I was like, I'd love long lashes because I don't have any length, and I get eyelash extensions quite regularly, and the girl who does them, she's like, you need Revitalash because your lashes are, you know, they're fine, they're healthy, but they're very short. And she says if your lashes were just a little bit longer, I could apply longer extensions to them. So she told me to go and get this, and I did, and it is the best invention I have ever used. My lashes have grown so much, guys, and I've even noticed you even commenting and saying your lashes have gotten so much longer. I don't have the most amazingly long lashes, so anything to give them a little bit of length was really welcomed, and this actually works. It is an expensive product, but it is genuinely worth every cent, and I will be repurchasing it when it finishes. Early this month I got to go away with the Body Shop to London. Thank you so much to the Body Shop for bringing me away to London again. Every time I get to go to London, I'm just like, yes. I love London a lot. I think it's like one of the most amazing cities in the world. Anyway, sidetrack. The product that I'm loving this month from the Body Shop is actually their body butter, and this is the almond milk and honey. Guys, if you smelt this, you would just die. Oh my god, it smells amazing. That's what it looks like. It's just a body butter. I'm sure you're well familiar with them at this stage. And it has honey in it and it just smells divine. It is incredible on my skin. I've used the coconut one for years and years and years, and it kind of has like a bit of a glitter and stuff in it as well. I love it. But this one is my new favorite one. When it's gone, I'll be repurchasing it. I love it. It's amazing. Like, I don't know how I never tried this before. It smells like a dream. I know I only got these products recently, and I don't want to be like saying I love them prematurely, but I already know I love them and I need to talk to you guys about them. So the first product is the Urban Decay highlighter in Sin. Look at that. It's so pretty. I swatched this on Snapchat the other day and everyone went crazy for it. Wait till you see this. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I wore it yesterday for the first time ever, and I just thought it looked lovely. That's why I hate mentioning things I've only just used, because my mind can change. But I am very much impressed with this, and I think I'm kind of like getting more into Urban Decay. I wasn't like keen on Urban Decay because they have like everything they've brought out recently that I've tried I've hated, and it's not that I've been like, oh, I'm not crazy about it. No, I have really not liked it. I just haven't been crazy about the things they've been bringing out, but this highlight is bomb. Love it, and I'm very excited to try their new velvet powder that they are bringing out. It's a loose powder, and apparently it makes your skin look like velvet, which I'm very excited to try. So I will get hold of that and we'll check it out and see what it's like. So like I said, I've only been playing around with that this last week, but I think it is amazing. The next thing I know I love, and I've tried it one time, which was yesterday as well, but it's a Heavy Metals glitter liner from Urban Decay as well. And the only reason I know I like this is because I have Midnight Cowboy. This is the blue one. It's called Amp. Midnight Cowboy is one of my favorite glitter liners I've ever used, and the formula of it is to die for. Urban Decay really like knock the ball out of the park when it comes to the formulation of glitter liners. There are very few glitter liners in this world that I like. I find that they're very choppy and they don't look pigmented, and I don't like the formula of them, whereas Urban Decay do a good job. So this is what the blue one looks like. I don't know if you can see it up there. It's just a tiny little swatch. It kind of has a bit of green in it and a little bit of silver, and then the blue obviously. And I wore it yesterday just underneath my lower lash line. I put like a blue eyeshadow on, and then I put this on over it, and it just looked amazing. It is gorgeous. I know myself I'm going to be picking up all of the shades in this. This next product I got about 2 weeks ago, and I wore it like when I was at home in my house. It like arrived and I just put it on my lash and I was like, wow, This is an incredible mascara. I'm so impressed. You probably know what mascara it is because I have been ranting and raving about it a lot already. And it is this one here called the Lash Renegade from Wet n Wild. I always have to check the second part of that. I'm like, what is it called? And I know it's been out in like the US since like late December, early January, something like that. But we only just got it here in Ireland. And it looks like this. So it's kind of a rare, really odd looking mascara wand. It is a plastic wand. It kind of is like traditional in that, you know, it's just a normal wand, but then it has this like bobble on the end that can get right up to your lashes, and that is why I love it. It coats every single one of your lashes and makes them look really full and volumized. I love this. It looks funny, it looks odd, but believe me guys, it is incredible and really, really good at just kind of making non-existent lashes look amazing. Like I said, even though I'm still trying to grow my lashes, they are coming along leaps and bounds, but this mascara just coated them and made them look like they were out of this world and that I had like tons of lashes. It's a great mascara. I want to talk about one more favorite before I move on to the things that did not work out for me this month. And the products I want to talk about are actually from Raine. So this brand here, they make eyeshadows. Now I haven't actually used this particular one. I have used other ones. I'll show you them in a moment. They make these gorgeous eyeshadows and they're really inexpensive. You can buy them on Beauty Bay. I'll link them down below. I did mention them in underrated products that I really, really like, and an awful lot of you said that when you heard the story about them that you thought that they were an incredible brand. So this shadow here is called Date Night. I ordered a palette on Amazon. I'm still waiting for it to arrive, so that's why they're all kind of like hanging about in their like plastic coverings. So I'm going to give you a swatch of Date Night, and it looks like that. Look how incredibly pigmented that is. These shadows are amazing. Now, when I told you the story of what happened, I ordered the Queen of Hearts palette from Raine's website. But the palette didn't arrive, and I didn't actually notice that it was really delayed because I expected it coming from America. It wasn't going to be here like in a day. Raine actually reached out to me themselves, and they said that my palette had gotten lost. They couldn't find it on their tracker, you know, logins or whatever, and that they wanted to apologize, refund me the full price of the palette, refund me the shipping as well, which is surprising, and send me out the full collection of their eyeshadows. I got a huge box full of all their eyeshadows, and I showed that in that other video. I was just a customer. I wasn't buying as a blogger or through my blogger email or anything like that. I just used my own email address, my personal one, and they sent this all out to me, so they didn't know who I was. They were that kind and that generous, and I've been using the shadows ever since, and I've been really, really enjoying them. Now this is one of the shades I have used on my eyes, and it is called Downtown, and it looks like that. I'm just going to show you this, guys. I'm just going to dip my brush into this and just take a brush swatch. Look at that. That's a brush swatch of these eyeshadows. When I patted this onto my eyelid, I was like, oh my god, that is extremely pigmented. So I had to talk about it. Look at that. Like, that's just a brush swatch. And you just build it up, and it just builds up even more. It's not my finger, it's not anything, it's not wet, nothing like that. It's just a brush swatched. It is incredible. The pigmentation and the formulation of these shadows is by far like my favorite I've tried in forever. This is the shadow, I think it was this shadow that I used with that blue eyeliner. Just look at this. This is called Majestic, and I'm just going to show you on a brush how pigmented this is. Look at it. Like, that's again a brush swatch. It's unbelievable. Say brush swatch really, really quickly 3 or 4 times. Brush swatch. You just kind of build it up and it just increases the intensity of it. I could not believe the pigmentation of these shadows. This is gorgeous. So I use this shadow on my lower lash line, and I use that glitter liner over it, and it just looked lovely. I wore it yesterday. I really, really liked it, and I am so impressed with these eyeshadows that I just think that they need more hype. Like, why are people not talking about them? They're a cruelty-free brand as well, which is amazing. So definitely, if you haven't tried them, check out Raine. You buy them on Beauty Bay, so it's like really inexpensive shipping as well. Their shipping from their site it's okay. Like, I think it was like 10 or 11 euro, but Beauty Bay do like free shipping over 50. Okay guys, that is all my favorites this month. Let's talk about the misses. My biggest miss this month was definitely from MUA. That makeup brand in general was a miss for me. I'm so sorry to say that. If you guys love it, I did so many different makeup tutorials this month and used so many different brands from the drugstore, affordable brands that were superior brands. And then I tried MUA and I was like, girl, what is this? And I love so many things from so many different affordable brands. I don't bash affordable brands, I'm all about them. But this was just, these things were just not good. Nah. First product that I didn't like was the foundation. The foundation actually looks that color. See the way there's kind of like a silver coolness, like kind of like a grey almost to that. Yeah, that foundation looks like that on your face. If you want to see how it performed on my face, I will link down the video. This was one of the worst foundations I've ever tried. It's called a Skin Define Matte Perfect Foundation, matte being the operative word. It was not matte in any way. I'm oily and this looked oily even on my skin as I was applying it. There was nothing matte about it. It was not good. I would highly recommend you guys staying away from this if you're oily, or if you don't have grey skin, then stay away from it. I don't know who this would match. I really don't. It wasn't good. The other thing I hated, like I hated this. I don't think I've ever used such a strong word to define how I feel about a makeup product in my life, but I hated this. It was the Cover All Concealer. Guys, this wouldn't cover me if I was cold. It is ridiculous. Look at this, right? First of all, it is the most confusing formula I've ever used in my life. It's like an oily mess. So as you're applying it, and if you rub too hard on it, you can actually kind of take off the product. You see that? And it wasn't good. I don't know what I was thinking with this. It just blends out into nothing, and it feels really greasy on the skin. It was very bad. Definitely two of the worst products from the whole of Drugstore Week that I've used. It was so sad to say that, but it just weren't good. MUA is a really affordable brand, but so is Makeup Revolution, and so is Essence and Catrice. And I don't understand how, we'll say like this was like €4, £4 or something like that. I don't understand how Essence can make something for that same price but much better. Like Catrice make this liquid camouflage foundation, I think for in or around €5 or €6, and it's way better. Like it would nearly be on the standard of almost Holy Grail drugstore foundation. So I just think MUA really needs to kind of up their game before I purchase anything else from them. I'm gonna give them a hard pass, and I don't want to kind of harp on about it, but I did have issues with two of the products that came broke, and I actually liked those products, the blusher and contour highlight palette. And I contacted them, reached out to them, and I explained to them. I did all this purchasing and contacted them through my private email. I often do that just to see how brands work when they don't know who you are, if that makes any sense. Because sometimes as a blogger you get treated very differently than you do as a customer, and I've noticed that from a few brands and brands that I no longer support. But I did reach out to them and I said to them, look, two of my products were out broke, and they didn't want to know. They didn't care. They responded to me one time and they just said to me, oh, we'll send you out replacements, and they never did. So I never heard back from them. I did contact them again and heard nothing. So I'm not really convinced that they have quite a good customer service. Obviously that is just my own experience with their customer service. It wasn't great. You guys might have a much better experience with their customer service. I know some of my followers did also say to me that the customer service that they received from MUA was not great. Guys, that is one of my biggest pet peeves with dealing with a brand. It is a deal breaker for me. I will stop using a brand if their customer service is not good. It is a huge issue for me. I want to be treated properly as a customer, and if I have an issue, I want to be able to go to you, and I want you to be able to sort that issue out for me. I'm a customer. I'm paying my money to buy a product from you that you should, if there's anything wrong with it, replace it or refund me. And even the difference between dealing with coloured Raine and dealing with MUA, they're just like polar opposites. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in today for this video. If you're not already, please hit that subscribe button and do click the bell, because if you want to get notified of my videos, that would be the best way. Thank you so much guys for watching me today. I love you all so much. Mwah.